In this video, we will explore the different tools and settings available on an Ag Leader mapping screen when using a SureDrive or SureSpeed with SureForce configuration on the InCommand 1200 display. Knowing the location of these tools and settings will allow you to efficiently adjust your planter and ensure your planter is performing optimally when you are in the field. The mapping screen is very similar between systems using SureDrive and SureSpeed. For this video, we will be using a SureSpeed configuration and will note the items that are only in a SureSpeed configuration. We will begin with a SureSpeed and SureForce system loaded to the mapping screen. If this is the first time you have loaded the configuration, you will receive a warning window that says a product or equipment combination has not been calibrated. Review the seeds per revolution settings. Tap the green check to acknowledge the warning. To enter the seeds per revolution number, tap the settings wrench in the bottom right of the screen. On the Planter Drives tab, you will see a meter calibration for each rate section you have configured the planter for. Our planter is configured for a 2-variety split, so we will have a separate meter calibration for the left half and the right half of the planter. The meter calibration is the number of seed cells in the meter. By the display knowing the seeds dispensed for every revolution of the meter, it can then calculate the number of seed dispensed by measuring the RPMs of the SureDrive or SureSpeed meter motor. To enter or edit the meter calibration, tap the calculator icon. Before beginning to plant, tap the Prime Seed Meter button. This will turn the drive one revolution to fill the meters with seed so that when you begin planting, the meters are primed and ready to go. The Planter Check button can be used to access the Test Stand, SureSpeed Check, and SureForce Check, which is covered in separate tutorials. Tap the Seed Monitor tab at the top. Here is where the Seed Monitor gain is located. This value for corn crops should always be set to 1. Other crops might need to be adjusted based on a dig check to verify actual in-ground performance. Instructions for adjusting can be found in the InCommand feature user guide for SureDrive or SureSpeed. Also found on the Seed Monitor tab is the population and seed monitoring alarm thresholds, the ability to enable or disable a seed tube sensor, and if the planter has a vacuum or a seed delivery pressure sensor, they can be configured here. Tap the Downforce tab at the top. Here you can view the gauge wheel load and the applied downforce for each row. You can also switch between manual and automatic downforce control. The gauge wheel load setting can be adjusted here as well. For most operations, this will be left at medium. For instructions or guidance on adjusting, please refer to the InCommand feature user guide for SureForce. Tap the back arrow to exit the planter options window and return to the mapping screen. In the bottom right of the screen, there is the generator status indicator. When the generator is engaged and at operating RPMs, the icon will be green. When the generator is off, the icon will be gray. Also, on the bottom right of the screen is the Downforce status indicator, Auto Swath on and off button, Jump Start button, Master Switch Position indicator, and Implement Switch Position indicator. In the upper right is the Rate tab. This tab will show the product name, units for target rate, and as applied rate. If the planter was set up with a split variety, like we have in our example, there will be a Rate tab for each product. Verify the correct variety is entered. When tapping on the Rate tab, we see more tools and settings. Starting at the top, we can select Target Rate 1 or Target Rate 2, Prescription Map, and Increment Settings. Tap the wrench to open the Rate Control Settings window. On this screen, we can set the target rate values, define increment values, and import a variable rate prescription if available. Tap the back arrow to return to the map screen. Tapping the Downforce tab will allow us to switch to manual control, adjust the gauge wheel setting, and view the main valve input hydraulic pressure. The next area we will talk about is the map legend. Tap the Legend tab to expand the legend. Tap the drop-down. Here, selecting one of the products will change the map to view the varieties in the field or the as-applied rate. Selecting Downforce will change the map to show the gauge wheel load or as-applied force by the SureForce actuator. If you have completed previous operations with this display or other InCommand displays connected with DisplayCast, those will also be available to view the maps for those operations. We will tap Seed Monitor to view the Seed Monitor map. By swiping left or right on the legend, we can change between the different Seed Monitor attributes, such as population, population percentage, singulation, and spacing. You can edit the legend ranges or thresholds by tapping the legend values. On the bottom of the screen, by swiping left and right on the bar graph, you can switch between population, meter speed, singulation, spacing, skips, doubles, gauge wheel load, applied downforce, and downforce trends. Those items can also be viewed by tapping the Seed Monitor icon on the bottom of the screen. To change which one is shown on the graph, tap the desired item on the bottom half of the screen. For example, to view the downforce trends on the bar graph, tap the Downforce Trends box. It is now highlighted green and is shown on the bar graph above. Tap the Map View button to return to the full screen map. Now you will be able to efficiently use the tools and settings on the map screen using a SureDrive or SureSpeed and SureForce planting configuration on the InCommand 1200 display. If you'd like to learn more on operating the SureDrive, SureSpeed, and SureForce systems, please reference the InCommand Feature User Guide for SureDrive, SureSpeed, and SureForce. If you'd like to see more short tutorials from Ag Leader, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.